about 5:15. The sun laying low, like it's saying its goodbyes. That old Chevy C10, paint worn thin, been with me through every place I've ever been. And I wondered in the quiet when the day is done, what happens to my stories when I ain't the one? These boots by the door, they walk 1,000,000 miles. This guitar's heard heartbreak, love, and a few drunk smiles. My tools in the shed, rust, sweat, and time. Every bolt and wrench, a memory of mine. And I asked that evening breeze rolling in, who holds all this stuff when I ain't here to tend? Who'll drive my old C10 when I'm gone? Who'll fire her up when the nights get long? Who'll know she needs a little choke when she's cold? Who'll treat that truck like she's solid gold when the good Lord calls me home again? Tell me, who'll drive my old C10? Maybe some young kid with a dream in his eyes, learning life is better lived under big blue skies. Will he keep her all stocked with her rattles and dents, or fix her up shining like the boys do nowadays? And then maybe my own blood following my track, feeling my spirit riding in the seat in the back. Or maybe she'll rest where the memories stay, parked in the barn where the dust comes to play. Who'll drive my old C10 when I'm gone? Who'll fire her up when the nights get long? Who'll know she needs a little choke when she's cold? Who'll treat that truck like she's solid gold when the good Lord calls me home again? Tell me, who'll drive my old C10? I ain't scared of leaving, I made my peace, but a man hopes his treasures live on at least. Not for the chrome or the shine she lacks, because that truck holds a life I can't get back. Who'll drive my old C10 when I'm gone? Who'll keep her humming like she's never grown old? Who'll feel that heartbeat in the steering wheel? Who'll know that thunder only she can feel when the gates swing wide and I walk on in? Maybe I'll smile knowing somebody's driving my old C10. cheers through the scars and collages for the racers who gave everything without fail, and the fans who stand proud when the engines wail. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, this ain't a phase. It's our passion, our culture, and we'll live into the grave. Pedal to the metal, forever in our veins. So look out, we're only getting louder from here. Nothing built strong was ever built out of fear. The road is wide open and the fire won't slow, because this isn't a hobby, this is the only life we know. Pedal down, heads high. We're not done. Pedal down, heads high. Pedal down.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pedal to the Metal, the podcast where horsepower meets heart. From the shine of collector cars to the roar of race cars and the thunder of monster trucks, we've got it all. So buckle up your seatbelt, turn on the gas, and grab your favorite brew, 'cause the ride starts now. And now, here's your host, Roller.
Hey, what's going on? What's happening out there, man? What's all that noise? Come on, let's save some of that applause for Dan Savage a little bit later on in the show, man. It's good to see you guys. I like to see the audience full, man. There's a lot of people in here tonight, man. Woo! Woo! As my old buddy Ric Flair used to say, woo! What a great time, man. What a great night we're going to be. We're back, man. Sunday nights like usual, like magic. You know what I mean? All right, come on. Let's just bring it down a little bit. I really appreciate it. I really do. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and just get ready to go. Just start the show is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start the show. But anyway, hey guys, a lot of people on here tonight. I got my baby girl all the way from LV in the house. Rick Garbiso and the gang is in the house. Taylor Dennehy is in the house right there from Monster X Tour. What up, Taylor? Got Scott Goodyew was in here. Got my sister-in-law, Susie Richards. Maybe it's my brother. I don't know. You never know, man. You never know who's in here, man. I'm just trying to look down the line here and see who's all in the house. Got Mr. Texas Rich in the house. My brother from another mother. He's in the house and he's ready. Sean Green. What's up, Sean Green? How y'all doing tonight, man? How y'all doing? Man, we got a great show tonight. We got Dan Savage. He's only one of my amigos, but we're going to have him on. We're going to be talking to him about his dad's race career. We're going to be talking about his race career. All here in Southern Colorado. I mean, not in Southern Colorado. I'm not in Southern Colorado anymore. I'm up in Northern Colorado. But, you know, they used to race. His dad raced at Lakeside Speedway. And Dan was a big name there at CNS Speedway where I used to work and stuff. And, man, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. And we used to sell cars to Mr. Savage, guaranteed, at at the auction all the time, when back in the days when the auction was a rockin' and a rollin'. But no, we got a good one tonight, guys. We're going to go ahead and just hang out here for a little bit and play some music. So if you got some stuff you need to do, man, you're more than welcome. Just chill out and just get your stuff done, and we'll be back at 7 o'clock with the regular show, and Dan will be on, and man, we're going to have us a good time tonight. So we're going to start it all off right here, guys, with a little bit of C10 Blues, and this is here off of Cruising the bug. Got a bug, a bug right in my mouth. But anyway, we're going to start off with a little bit of Cruising the Classics right here, and we'll be back here in just a minute, man. This here is Rolla, and this is Pedal to the Metal, and it's Sunday night, and we're going to be back here in just a minute. And this here is Rolla.
Got a big block motor under that hood. When she fires up, man, she sounds so good. 4-barrel carb and a tailpipe tune. You can hear her singing clear across the moon. I got them Chevy C10 Blues, chrome's all done, but her soul still grooves. Automatic shift slides nice and smooth. Yeah, I'm riding with them Chevy C10 Blues. Bench seat tone and the dash lights fade, but she's still the best thing I ever made. Ain't much radio worth a damn these days. So I roll down the window, let that motor play. I'm taking her to the mountains, through Cold Spring Stream. She's rolled through my life and carried my dreams. Took her to prom, she was polished clean. Sweetest truck anybody's ever seen. People stop by and ask if she's for sale. I just grin and say not for a tailgate full of ale. She's been with me through thick and thin. She's part of the family, I ain't trading her in. I could climb in right now and drive coast to coast. She's the one old ride I trust the most. Never let me down, not once, not bad. She's the most reliable truck I've ever had. I got them Chevy C10 Blues, rust on the fenders, but she still moves. That V8 song's the only tune I use. Yeah, I'm humming them Chevy C10 Blues. She's all my dream, my heartbreak too. From back road dust to the mountain view. And when I hear that motor roar, I swear I love her a little bit more. I got them Chevy C10 Blues. She's a little beat up, but she still proves that love ain't chrome, it's grit and true. Forever singing them Chevy C10 Blues.
You know, I had the Chevy C10 Blues until today, and I got to take Bob out. We cruised out to Castle Rock, man, went to Cars and Coffee, and donated toys to the kids, and had a good time. And then I got to meet up with Raul. We talked a little bit about up and coming car show that I want to put on and different things like that, and come home, got to see Rick and his beautiful wife today, delivered CDs. Man, I've been humping hard today, man, humping hard. But I'll tell you what, guys, Black Tie Soul, by far the best-selling one that we've done so far. I have been busy. I've been sending out. I got 4 more packs going out tomorrow in the mail to different people. So it's been a really good CD or thumb drive or album or whatever you want to call it, whatever you're going to get it in, and that's just the way it is. But if you want a copy of any of the CDs or the albums, all you have to do is go to jeffrichards327 at gmail.com. That's jeffrichards327 at gmail.com. And man, I can put those songs on a thumb drive. I can make a CD for you. And while Christmas is still on, you get the Christmas CD for free. So if you're going to pay shipping, which you have to do even on the Christmas CD, you're going to get it for free, so you might as well just go ahead and get one of the other ones, spend just a little bit more money, and that way you get 2 CDs for the one price of shipping, man. It's not a bad deal, not a bad deal. This next song up here called Cruising California Nights. It's just, if you're from the California area, man, you'll know some of these places, and you've heard of them, and if you've listened to a lot of old rock and roll from the 60s and 50s and 60s, you'll know some of these places right here. So this is Cruising California Nights.
Got my 57 Chevy, polished up bright, headed down Whittier Boulevard tonight. Chrome shining, radio playing real loud. We're rolling through the valley, drawing a crowd. Van Nuys Boulevard, the tires start to squeal. Gas pedal down, you can smell that steel. Bob's big boys jumping burgers on the grill. The jukebox is rocking to that West Coast thrill. We're cruising California nights, under them red and yellow lights. Hot rods, T-birds, and old GTOs, running wild where the cool wind blows. From Hollywood down old Modesto streets, living that dream on 4 chrome feet. Pull up at Mills, grab a Coke and a smile. Harvey's Broilers packed 4 miles. Low riders gliding, candy paint so sweet. Hitting them switches, riding low in the heat. Got Mustangs, Roadrunners, and a Cuda too. Camaro with flames, yeah, the baby's new. We raced down PCH just to feel alive. Engine humming, California drive. We're cruising California nights, under them red and yellow lights. Hot rods, T-birds, and old GTOs, running wild where the cool wind blows. From Hollywood down to old Modesto Street, we're living that dream on 4 chrome feet. Midnight, the engines fade, but the memories linger in the songs we made. Every burnout, every neon sign still echoes through that golden time. We're cruising California nights, shining chrome in the pale moonlight. From San Jose down to LA town, we keep those old wheels spinning round. Yeah, the spirit's alive, it'll never die.
we're just cruising some California nights. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. Next song up is called The Mistress. This is after one of my buddies, Justin Goulet. It's about his truck, The Mistress. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Meadow. Pedal to the Meadow.
Started as a gift from my dad back in '92. I was 15 with a wrench in hand and a dream I'd see come true. She rolled off the lot, gold and white, a six-banger built for power, not speed. But she grew up right there with me and became everything I need. I call her the mistress, and her name sure fits her right. She's been my ride or die through every wrong and right. From gravel roads to high school, she stood the test of time. 33 years of blood and sweat, that old truck's still mine. Now she's running a sassy 350 V8, humming low and clean. Urson gear driving Muncie 4-speed, she's still my teenage dream. Tubular arms and a notched frame makes her sitting low, and I think she looks great. With red ostrich leather inside, she's still the finest thing I've seen. I call her the mistress, and her name sure fits her right. She's been my ride or die through every wrong and right. Gravel roads to high school, she stood the test of time. 33 years of blood and sweat, that old truck's still mine. Every time that engine roars, I look at my dad's face and laugh again, because I know he's seen every face she's been through, every mile and bend. And when I drop that 380 stroker in, she'll shine just like brand new. A 6-speed and air conditioned too, she'll make him proud too. Yeah, the mistress, and she's more than chrome and steel. She's a memory of the gift my father gave to me, and the way she makes me feel. Through all the years and all the turns, she's my sweet legacy. A mistress ain't just a truck boy, she's family to me.
Well, that's the mistress. That's what that's about. This next song up, if you're from the Pueblo area or kind of close around, you knew about my grandfather's restaurant if you grew up in the 50s, 60s, and part of the 70s. It was called the Joker Drive-In. Well, they all called my grandfather Harry the Hat. It was a place for all the kids to hang out. I can remember seeing all kinds of cool cars there when I was a young kid. I was just a little bit too young to be able to work there or do anything there, but man, it was just a great place to grow up as a kid, man. So this song here is about the Joker Drive-In and my grandpa, Harry the Hat.
Gravel crunching under wheels, wooden boots with squeaky seals. Harry the Hat behind the grill, flipping patties with that magic skill. Root beer floats fizzing in the sun, 3-2 beers for the older ones. Fry sizzling onions in the air, kids laughing, playing, not a single care. Old Harry the Hat at the Joker, where the legends come alive. SOB sandwich is the thing we'd all survive. Hot rods revving, jukebox playing all night. With Harry the Hat at the Joker, everything was right. License plates from miles away, engines humming, kids at play. Car hops running down the gravel line, trays of burger shakes and fries. Harry the Hat tipping his brim, wiping sweat, calling out to him. Watch that tray, he'd laugh and shout. We knew there was magic all about. Oh, Harry the Hat at the Joker, where the legends come alive. SOB sandwich is the thing we'd all survive. Hot rods revving, jukebox playing all night. With Harry the Hat at the Joker, everything was right. The smell of grill and neon lights, Saturday nights in our blue jean whites, bumping songs from the 45s. Every summer evening felt alive. Harry the Hat with a twinkle in his eye told stories of the cars rolling by. Every kid, every friend, every line made the Joker feel like frozen time. Sunglasses tipped, hair in the breeze, kids on roller skates feeling free. Trays of chili dogs and chocolate shakes, laughs echoing over gravel breaks. Harry the Hat calling orders loud, every kid in the lot feeling proud. Through every burger, every soda, every friend, Harry the Hat made the story never end. Yes, Harry the Hat at the Joker, where the legends come alive. SOB sandwich is the thing we'd all survive. Hot rods revving, jukebox playing all night. With Harry the Hat at the Joker, everything was right. Joker, Harry the Hat at the Joker.
Well, I tell you what, man, it was a great place to grow up as a young man. I guarantee you that. I really, really enjoyed it a lot. I liked it a lot. A lot. Hey, I got to hang out with my buddy Steve Craftsman today and his family. Kind of made my day, man. I got to go down to Castle Rock, and we got to drive Bob around, give some toys out. Got to go hang out with Raul, man, and it was just a great day seeing Rick and his lovely wife. And oh man, then I come home and got more notifications that I had more people wanting to buy stuff, so I had to go sell it and do all that. And Pedal to the Metal, guys, is the songs are really taking off, man. I guarantee you. Black Tie Soul, wow. I couldn't believe the response. I guess maybe it's got a lot to do with since we're putting it on the thumb drives now, because, I was just a little too old, and I was just making CDs, see? And people were not buying them too much because there's no such thing as a CD player anymore. So everybody's got thumb drives, and we started putting them on them thumb drives. But no, man, just what a great feeling it is to be able to create some music and to be able to have people respond to it just that great, man. It's just such a great feeling and stuff. So let's see here. Our next song up is called C10 Summers. And we're not too far away from talking to Dan Savage. He's going to call in about 7:15. Going to be a good interview tonight, man. Savages are kind of well known in this area for their racing and stuff, and it's going to be good. I haven't really had the time to sit down except for the last couple of days, and it was just quick stuff, and couldn't really take the time to talk to him about the old times and about the days we used to sell cars for him and sell cars to him and stuff like that. So we'll get that all going here at 7:15, and we'll start the show at 7 o'clock. It's 6:33 right now. This next song up is called C10 Summers.
Been working all winter long in that cold dark shop, turning wrenches, burning nights, never gonna stop. The brakes are on, the fuel's flowing clean. She's a mean machine, she's my old dream. Got the tunes playing loud, chrome shining bright. Gonna hit that highway come Friday night. I'm getting ready for my C10 Summers, hanging out with all my brothers, where the paint shines red and the road just hums. Can't wait to take it to the shows, kicking dust with all my bros. Yeah, I'm rolling through those C10 Summers. Long hour daylight never gets old. From town to town with a heart of gold. Just me and my Chevy in the heat and thunder. That's how we roll in those C10 Summers. Got my girl riding shotgun, bare feet on a dash, cold drink radio, life's moving fast. We pull in the lot, the crowd turns to stare, all them heads nod, they know she's rare. Stories and engines fill the air, it's more than chrome, it's the love we share. I'm getting ready for my C10 Summers, hanging out with all my brothers, where the paint shines red and the road just hums. Can't wait to take it to the shows, kicking dust with all my bros. Yeah, I'm rolling through those C10 Summers. Long hour daylight never gets old. From town to town with a heart of gold. Just me and my Chevy in the heat and thunder. That's how we roll in those C10 Summers. Trucks like a bunch of fools, but I wouldn't trade it no other way. C10 Summers forever stay. Yeah, here's to those C10 Summers, the friends that laughs, the burning rubber. Every bolt, every mile brings back that smile. Long hour daylight running wild and free. That C10 life's where I wanna be. So let's raise a bottle to all our brothers and all the love we found in those C10 Summers.
Well, it's all them C10 Summers that it's all about, man. And I can't wait for summer to get here. They say never wish your life away. I just want the winter to go away, okay? I want it to be a good winter with some snow and stuff, but I just want it to go away so that we can play with the hot rods. That's when I get to see all the family and all the shows and all that come out, man, and it's just a good time. Well, you know, this next song is about a buddy of mine, and, you know, he travels all over the United States, and he puts on... He's an auctioneer, and he travels all over the country, from Houston to Abilene to Denver, Colorado. Sometimes he's up in Montana. You just never know where this young man's going to be. You know, he's not young. What am I talking about, man? I'm not trying to make no brownie points. He's already my friend. Where this old man, Scott Goodyear, is, he's up in the traveling auctioneer.
He's got a gavel and a suitcase, always ready to roll. From Denver down to Houston, chasing that gold. Cattle in the morning, class 6 at night. Hammer falls down, he's catching that flight. He's the traveling auctioneer, voice sharp and clear, selling dreams to strangers from town to town each year. From muscle cars to dairy steers, he's known far and near. But when the bidding's done, he's all alone, the traveling auctioneer. From Dallas to Abilene and all the barns between, he's the fastest tongue the crowd has ever seen. He's a multi-world champ, best in the land, with a mic in his grip and a crowd in his hand. Now I got 100, can I get 200 bid? Now who'll make it easy?
There you go, Scotty. I played your song for you, man, and I don't even think you're on here to listen to it. That's right. Anyway, this next song is about a young man that was laying in bed when he was a young man, listening to the radio, wondering what it was like to have his songs on the radio. Needless to know that one day he was going to be famous and he was going to be on the radio. This is called Late Night Songs on the Radio.
Down in a small town south of Nashville, where the street lights faded slow, I'd twist that old AM dial to a station I used to know. Low LAC 1510, coming through the midnight air. Those voices felt like heaven, and I was right there. Late night songs on the radio, dreaming under that southern glow. Chubby Checker Twist and Richie Valens crying. The Supremes kept my young heart flying. Didn't know back then I'd ever be one of those names they'd someday see, singing my own late night song on the radio. Mom and Dad were fast asleep, but I was wide awake, with a 6-string dream and a transistor band, taking every note they'd made. Elvis shook, Buddy rolled, Ray Charles taught me soul, and somewhere in those static waves they carved my heart and soul. Late night songs on the radio, dreaming under that southern glow. The Platters crooning Fats Domino, Little Richard stealing the show. Didn't know back then I'd ever be one of those names they'd someday see, singing my own late night song on the radio. Now when a dream and a radio found his life in a song long ago. Late night songs on the radio, WLAC 1510 in stereo. From Chubby to the Supremes, they were fuel for my dreams. And now when they spin my tune, I smile and know it all began with late night songs on the radio.
Well, that's a good song. I like that song. This next song here, though, growing up in Pueblo, Colorado, there was a performance speed shop, and it was called PA, and Performance Associates, and the guy's name was Jay, and it was over on, I believe, on maybe 4th Street or something like that, but it was way up by the fairgrounds. Anyway, you'd call over there and go, PA Jay, and that man was so knowledgeable about cars and everything else. And then across the street from my dad's car lot, we had a big parts store. We used to go over there and we'd tell them we need this for this, and this, and they'd go back in the back and get it. And very seldom would they have to look in the book to do it. Nowadays, you go in there and you're looking for, you want, let's just say you want a gallon of windshield wiper fluid, and you go to the guy at the counter, and he's a young kid, and he's trying hard to be knowledgeable, and he gets on the computer and he goes, now what kind of motor you got in that truck? And I'm like, well, I got a 350 in it. Well, is it an automatic or a 4-speed? Well, it's an automatic, but all I really need is just some washer fluid. Well, I got it. What year is that truck? It's a 1973, and like my truck, it's a 73 Chevy C10, and I have a 396 in it. Well, that dish throws them completely off. Well, they didn't make a 396 for that truck in 73. I said, yeah, I know they didn't. I fully understand that, but I'm just telling you, you asked me what kind of motor it is, and I told you. These poor kids, they don't have a clue. They don't have a clue about parts. They are just computer reading guys. Anybody can go in there, put on a shirt, and read the computer, go to the back, and look up what part it is, and get it and take it off the shelf and say, I think this will do it for you. I'm not sure. I can't tell you how to put it on. Well, you just pull the windshield wiper bottle up and you pour the blue stuff in there, and then you put the cap back on, and it's done. Okay? But anyway, this is all about a place called That Old Speed Shop, and it's just about, you order parts, and it's online now, and they drop them off at your door, and hope they fit. If they don't fit, you got to send them back. Sometimes your car's down for over a week, 2 weeks, just waiting for parts, the right parts. And God forbid you have to buy a fender for something, and you get one of them, a Chinese one, and they don't fit. They don't fit. Guarantee a fit. No, not guaranteed to fit. Guaranteed not to fit, for sure. Anyway, this next song is That Old Speed Shop.
I was 16, sweeping floors for a little pay at that old speed shop down on Highway 8. Chrome bumper shining, smell of gasoline. Those old boys taught me more than any school had ever dreamed. When that speed shop first opened up the doors, lead sleds and 32 deuce coupes rolled across the floor. T-bucket roadsters and Hildebrand parts, Lakeside pipes, Offenhauser hearts. Then came the GTOs, Camaros, and Stangs. Road runners rumbling, the streets all sang. Now it's tuned by computer, ordered by mail. The sound and the rumble are gone, what a tale. Now that old speed shop's a memory on a map, replaced by condos and some online apps. Ain't no counter talk or grease-stained hands, just shipping times and checkout plans. Yeah, I miss the days when a man could stop and find a little magic in that old speed shop. Those guys behind the counter, they were wrenches through and through. They knew every bolt and gasket, what worked and what blew. Didn't need no laptop telling them what's wrong. They'd walk back, grab the part, and you'd be fixed before long. Now that old speed shop's a ghost in my mind, where knowledge came from years and time. Now it's all click, ship, and hope it fits. No handshake deals or greasy wits. Yeah, I miss the days when a man could stop and talk horsepower dreams in that old speed shop. Sometimes I drive by where that old place stood, close my eyes and smell the rubber and wood, hear the laughter, the stories, the engines roar. Wish I could walk through that glass door once more. Now it's cardboard boxes on a porch at dawn, but the heart of that shop still keeps rolling on. And every car I build, every bolt I drop, lives a piece of that soul from that old speed shop. Yeah, I was just a kid when my dreams got lit by the spark of a socket and the smell of grit. Times have changed, but I can't stop thinking about my life. And that old speed shop.
A lot of old truth to that song. A lot of old truth to that song right there, I guarantee you. All right, we got one more song to play here, guys, and then we are going to get ready to start the show at 7 o'clock. Might go over just a little bit, but I doubt it. But anyway, this next song here is called Echoes of That Old Car Lot. And really, this song is about me and my father and our car lot, and how I should have paid more attention when I was a kid. But Dad used to tell me about his construction dreams, and we decided to go and I did decided to go into construction for a while. And what I should have done was just paid more attention to the car lot. And then today me and my brother would be running it, and it'd still be around, but she's history. So this starts out from when I was young, and then it goes into the day that I was there picking up the stuff. We were cleaning the shop up for the last time, and my dad was standing out in the middle of the parking lot, and he was just like, my life is over with right now. He said everything that I had and everything that was my will to get up and go do is gone, because we're shutting her down. So anyway, this is called Echoes of That Old Car Lot.
Dad started that little car lot in that Steel City town. He taught me more than wrenches and wheels. He taught me how to live, how to work, and how to dream. I didn't always follow his path, but I never forgot where it started. In that Steel City town, my old man's dream was turning steel and chrome into gasoline gleam. He built a name with a wrench in hand. Said, son, this shop will make you a man. But I had diesel dreams and dirt to move, running heavy iron like my old man used to. Now the echoes of that old garage still call my name. Oh, flaws and that worn-out sign still look the same. He taught me how to stand tall, how to see things through. Turns out he taught me more than I ever knew. When times got tough and the bills got high, he said, son, go make your own way under that Amarillo sky. 9 years gone by under that Texas sun, building a life with my wife and raising 3 sons. But back home the business faded slow, and I could see time catching up with the man I know. Now the echoes of that old garage still call my name. Oil-stained floors and that worn-out sign still look the same. He taught me how to stand tall, how to see things through. Turns out he taught me more than I ever knew. Then one day that phone call came, the shop went dark and nothing's been the same. They locked the doors, turned out the lights, and I cried for that man who gave me my drive. Now I'm calling bids under Denver lights, selling dreams made of chrome and white. Monster trucks and classic rides, still hear his voice when I grab that mic. He's gone but he's still right here, and every engine roar I hear. Build me a 73 C10, red, white and blue. Every bolt and line reminds me of you. At every show I park it proud, feels like he's riding right there in the crowd. Yeah, this boy still got that love so true, and Dad, I'll always ride for you. Yeah, the echoes of that old garage still call my name. Oil-stained floors and that worn-out sign still look the same. He taught me how to work hard, how to see things through, and I'm still learning from the man I never outgrew. Turns out he taught me more than I ever knew. Yeah, turns out he taught me more than I ever knew.
All right, guys, that was echoes of that old car lot, man. And we got to pay some bills right fast, and then we're going to get right into the show. We'll be back here in just a minute with Pedal to the Metal. Sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Hey, Lugnuts, take a look at our new partner, 6ix9ine Graphics and Design, a small design and marketing company big on personalized service. They work close with you to get your business noticed with graphics that stand out and get attention. 6ix9ine Design focuses on stickers, decals, and graphics for your hot rods, custom projects, or business marketing. 6ix9ine Design also includes logo design, brochures, signs, business cards, banners, custom apparel, vehicle graphics, and much more. Remember, that's 6 and the number 9 Graphics and Design, or go to 6ix9design.com or find them on Instagram at 6ix9design. Hey, Lugnuts, need pick me up to start your day? Then it's time to go to Rise and Grind. At Rise and Grind Coffee in Parker, Colorado, you'll find everything from bold espressos to creamy lattes to refreshing chai teas and smoothies. Whether you love it regular or decaf, we've got the perfect cup waiting for you. Hungry? Grab a hot breakfast burrito and a fresh muffin to go with your drink. And don't forget to check in on our merchandise. Perfect gift for any coffee lover. Planning on an event? Rise and Grind brings coffee to you with our family-equipped portable coffee trailer. Perfect for weddings, meetings, celebrations of any kind. Stop by at 475 Singing Hills Road in Parker or give us a call at 480-212-3787. That's 480-212-3787. Rise and Grind Coffee, fueling your day one cup at a time.
This is for the ones who were raised on gasoline dreams, for the lug nuts holding tight to the wild red line scenes, for the families, the drivers, the wrench turning crews, for the chrome, the smoke, and the ones who refuse to lose. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, that's who we are. We're a culture, we're a brotherhood, we are rolling motor fire. Bill Nye Ballard, that's the creed written deep in our veins. We turn busted cars into legends and rust into fame. From late night garage grind to race day stadium roars, every scar on our knuckles unlocked 1,000 doors. We don't back down, we don't break, we don't fold. Every ride we build tells a story worth gold. This is for the ones who were raised on gasoline trains, for the lug nuts holding tight to the wild red line scenes, for the families, the drivers, the wrench turning crews, for the chrome, the smoke, and the ones who refuse to lose. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, that's who we are. We're a culture, we're a brotherhood, we are rolling motor fire. Here's to the nights when the world said slow down, but the engine said no and we stood our ground. To the ones who grew up rich and when the rest took the easy way, we found our path in the piston noise and we'll ride it every day. Pedal to the metal, this is where we belong. Cars, trucks, monster trucks, loud and strong. Passion, pride, lug nuts, side by side. If you love what you drive, then ride. This is for the legends that started in dusty garages, for the kids who chase dreams through the scars and collages, for the racers who gave everything without fail, and the fans who stand proud when the engines wail. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, this ain't a phase. It's our passion, our culture, and we'll live it to the grave. Pedal to the metal, forever in our veins. So look out, we're only getting louder from here. Nothing built strong was ever built out of fear. The road is wide open and the fire won't slow, because this isn't a hobby, this is the only life we know. Pedal down, heads high. We're not done. Pedal down, heads high. Pedal down.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pedal to the Metal, the podcast where horsepower meets heart. From the shine of collector cars to the roar of race cars and the thunder of monster trucks, we've got it all. So buckle up your seatbelt, turn on the gas, and grab your favorite brew, 'cause the ride starts now. And now, here's your host,
Thank you. It's good to see everybody, man. Welcome to Pedal to the Metal. That's right, where horsepower meets it all, man. Whoa. Pedal to the Metal in the house. We got a full audience tonight, man. Everybody's in the audience tonight. It's good to see you guys. Thank you very much. It's our first Sunday being back after we were in Facebook jail. All right, let's calm down. Let's get on with the show, man. Let's get on with the show. Let's just bring it down a little bit. Bring it down just a little bit. Come on, guys. Come on now. Just a little quiet. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, man. No, guys, I tell you what, we're going to have a good show tonight. We got Dan Savage on. He's with Savage Racing, kind of a legendary name in the racing business here in Colorado. And man, I can't wait to get him on. Dan is a good friend of mine. We know each other from CNS Speedway when I was the infield announcer out there, and then also we know each other from the Denver Auto Auction, Colorado Auto Auction. He was a wholesaler, and we sold his cars and sold him cars. So we've got kind of a history together, and it's usually a good fun time, man. It really is. So I do look forward to tonight's show. But you know. Before we get started, I just kind of want to mention something to you guys. If you have a collector car and you're out there and you're trying to, bring your display up to the next level, man, I got your answer for you right now. Let me just reach down here and get this out here for a second. But I got a friend. His name's Texas Rich, and he has a show called C10 America. And they just moved into their new place, and they moved into their new studio there in Fort Worth, Texas. He brings the show to you live Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock Central Time. It'll be 8 o'clock our time. And, he talks about C10 trucks and different things like that. The man has a digital magazine called C10 America Magazine. Then he has a podcast called C10 America. He's getting ready to start another one called Tailgate Talks, and then he has metal prints, he has shirts, he has his hands in everything. And he's on here and he's listening, and he's working on producing these metal prints because he's just selling them like crazy. And these metal prints will actually take your display at the car show to the next level. I was in his magazine, I think it was issue number 6 or issue number 5. I can't remember right off the top of my head. And anyway, for the guys that are in his magazine, he does a special metal print for you. And this is my metal print right here. And this is really actually the magazine article itself, and he puts it on this little piece of metal here. It's 11 by 14, and it's the whole story of the truck and what he wrote in the article about the truck and stuff like that. And he makes these, and not only does he make them for the guys in the magazine, but he makes them for folks that just have car shows. Okay, and they come in sizes of 11 by 14, 16 by 20, and 20 by 30, and then he makes a show board that's a 20 by 30, and that's the only size you can get the show boards in, is the 20 by 30. But guys, I'm telling you what, man, this took my display with just the 11 by 14, and I have more people stop by my truck and read this sign, and then they take a look at the truck and they walk around it, and before they'd walk by and kind of look at it, and they're like, oh yeah, that's just a 73 square body that doesn't have a lot of paint. He's got some gasoline stickers on the side. Yeah, good. All right, let's go to the next one. But now I got guys that are coming in, they're talking about the motor, they're talking about the interior. Hey, I remember that interior when it first came out, or look at, man, it's got the teak wheel in it. Just all kinds of different things, and that's all from this metal print. So imagine if you have a show car out there and it's sitting there and this metal print sitting out in front of your show car, and you're like, wow, look at all these people stopping by to take a look at my car. That's what this will do for you. That's what this will do. This will bring another attention getter to your automobile. And I suggest highly that you guys get one of these metal prints for your cars. You know, you can have the paper one, or the cardboard one, as we say, and you throw it in the back after the show, and maybe you throw something on top of it, and all of a sudden it's all warped, or it gets wet, and it gets warped, and then it looks just terrible. It looks terrible. Then you get one made out of plexiglass, and it's there by the edge of your car, and it's been sitting there for a couple of summers in those hot days, and it starts to warp and melt. It looks terrible. This metal print won't do that. This metal print will not do that. This metal print is an amazing eye catcher for any display. And I recommend them highly. I really do. And if you're interested, you can go to c10americamagazine.com, and you can email Texas Rich, and he will be there for you, man. And he will walk you through the process. He'll tell you exactly what pictures he wants. You send him the pictures and stuff like that. He'll make that show board, send it to you, and it'll be ready for summer, man. And I would suggest getting in there because he's really busy. He's really, really busy at doing all this catch up, man, and because they were moving, he got married, and he was down for 2 or 3 weeks. I got some buddies that are football fanatics, and they're in this special group right now, and that's what you hear this buzzing sound is. It's the new group, and they're talking about the Bronco game, and it's already over with, but I got one of my friends that hasn't seen it yet, and so he's watching it, and he's making all these comments. Well, they started it all over again, and so throughout the recording tonight, we're going to hear burr, burr, burr. That's what it is. But anyway, get one of these metal prints, man. I highly suggest Texas Rich, c10americamagazine.com, or you can order t-shirts at Fourth Wall. He has t-shirts. I have shirts. You can go to fourthwall.com, type in C10 America, or type in Pedal to the Metal. It'll take you right to our storefront. You can push that storefront, and you can get yourself some clothing from that storefront right there and order it and get it all done. So anyway, we got a great show tonight. I appreciate Dan taking the time to really watch the show and be on the show, really, to be honest with you. And he's brought a few new viewers in that I have never seen. And I really look forward to this interview. It's gonna be a good one, man. And he'll be calling in here in probably about 5 minutes or so. And we'll get him on the line, and we'll make sure that everything's good to go, and we'll talk to him about his career at CNS Speedway and his dad's career at Lakeside Speedway. Lakeside Speedway, legendary speedway, opened in the 30s. It closed in the 80s, somewhere in there, but it was at Lakeside Amusement Park. And at one time before Denver had a lot of sports teams and stuff, Lakeside Speedway was really kind of like the main place to go hang out, man. And there was all kinds of people out there that went and seen the races and watched them and different things like that. And it was a good time in the racing industry at that time because people were just really getting into it, man, and the cars were cool, and I'm not saying they're not cool nowadays, but man, they were really cool back in the day. You got to see those old Chevys run around, or just some guy made up a car with a hodgepodge of different parts and stuff, and was out there, and he was kicking everybody's butt, man. So anyway, I look forward to talking to Dan here, and just like to say hi to Taylor Dennehy. James Kroger's out there, and he's watching the show tonight. These are all guys that I was in the motorsports business with and stuff. So, it's just going to be a good show, man. It really is. Let's see here. What else we got going here? If you'd like to order one of the CDs, we have Black Tie Soul and it's a soul CD, and it's just about cars, and no, doesn't mention the owners or anything like that. And it's really, we did on Friday night, we did a premiere with when we introduced Black Tie Soul, and it's been selling like crazy. And we can put it on thumb drive. We can do it on them old CDs if you want, but the thumb drive seems to be working the best, and I have a bunch of them made, and we'll send them to you. Got a bunch of them right here. You know, there's a whole bunch right here in this table. And we also have Colorado Country, which is more of a country CD, and you can go ahead and order that if you want, or you can order Cruising the Classics, and that's about just like old car songs that we were listening to earlier tonight and different things like that. And the CD is $10. The thumb drives are $13, and I'm telling you, I'm not making any money on these by the time the postage, and that's shipping and everything, guys, okay? I just want to get a hobby of mine that I enjoy doing out to you guys. If you enjoy it, I'd like to and send you guys some of that music and let you listen to it and stuff. So all you got to do is just go to jeffrichards327 at gmail.com and tell me what you want, and I'll be announcing that here a little bit later on if you want to get a piece of paper and a pencil. But it's jeffrichards327 at gmail.com. Say, hey, I'd like to order one of them CDs. I'll email you back and say, which one do you want? And man, we can get it out to you and get it. I can put it in the mail tomorrow, and it's up to the post office to get it to you as fast as they can, okay? So sometimes you get it fast, sometimes you don't. And that's just the U.S. Postal Service for you, for sure. But anyway, we're going to have some fun here. Let's see what time it is. Dan should be calling in here in about a minute or so, and we'll let him talk and figure out what's going on with his world and what he's been up to, because I really haven't talked to him in a long time. During COVID, I was making tricycles, not little kids' tricycles, but big person tricycles, and I would customize them. And one of them had a little flat. They all had kind of a box, like a truck box on the back, but one of them had like a flatbed, and I put a pedal car on the back, and it was like a hauler, and it was a Moon Eyes car with a Moon Eyes hauler and stuff like that. And then Dan called me and he said, hey, I want you to build my dad one of them bikes. And I said, yeah, man, I'd be more than happy to. And so he sent me a bunch of pictures of his father's car, and we painted it the same color as his father's car was. And we got I have a guy that does some awesome stickers and stuff. That's 6ix9ine Graphics, and he nailed the numbers on the car. It looked just like the original numbers that were on his dad's car. So we made this bike for him, and then he gave it to his dad for Christmas and stuff, and it was just a good time. So like I said, he should be calling in here pretty soon. So we'll go ahead and pay some more bills right fast, guys, and we'll be right back here with Pedal to the Metal. Hey, lug nuts, need pick me up to start your day? Then it's time to go to Rise and Grind. At Rise and Grind Coffee in Parker, Colorado, you'll find everything from bold espressos to creamy lattes to refreshing chai teas and smoothies. Whether you love it regular or decaf, we've got the perfect cup waiting for you. Hungry? Grab a hot breakfast burrito and a fresh muffin to go with your drink. And don't forget to check in on our merchandise. Perfect gift for any coffee lover. Planning on an event? Rise and Grind brings coffee to you with our family-equipped portable coffee trailer. Perfect for weddings, meetings, celebrations of any kind. Stop by at 475 Singing Hills Road in Parker, or give us a call at 480-212-3787. That's 480-212-3787. Rise and Grind Coffee, fueling your day one cup at a time. Okay, guys, we're back, and I think on the line we have Mr. Savage on there. Are you there, Dan?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
What's happening there, Jamal?
Well, I don't know what you mean to me, Steve.
Oh, guys, I tell you what, man, we have such a good time when we're around each other. Just a quick story. One day, I was leaving Colorado Auto Auction, and I seen Dan coming up behind me in this car, and I was in this old dump truck, and he was honking his horn, and he was blinking his lights, and I started yelling out the window at him and stuff, and people were driving by, and they're like, "These guys are going to get into blows, man." So they started slowing down and stuff. Just some good memories. No, isn't that right, my friend?
Yeah, we've had some good times at the auction and everywhere else. So yeah, definitely some good history that went by too fast, I think.
Well, it's like here and gone. I mean, it seemed like it took forever, but now it's gone. I mean, what the hell, What happened to the wholesale market? That's one of the wholesalers.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it's just time. It's not that we're getting older.
No, we're not. Dude, I'm still 20. Never mind. I'm just not going to go there. Okay. Yeah.
Just coming into my prime.
Yeah, just coming into my prime. Prime for the wheelchair and all that stuff and things like that. But no, Dan. Thank you, number one, for being on the show. I really appreciate it, and I just kind of wanted to get the history of. So we might as well start out with your father. The history of Savage Racing Team, man, and kind of go from there, and how your dad got started and different things like that. And I know that he did a lot of his racing at Lakeside Speedway, correct?
Inglewood, actually.
Oh, Inglewood. Okay, I thought it was Lakeside.
Yep. We went out to Lakeside a lot, but the cars were the Lakeside cars were kind of bigger. He raced super modifieds. And so they were a little bit different. The Lakeside Supers were kind of bigger bodied and stuff, and Inglewood Supers were just a little bit smaller, probably a little bit lighter. Back then, that was a little before my time.
Yeah, but, just a little bit. You were just a dream.
Right, exactly. So yeah, he kind of grew up always liked racing. I think he had his mom and dad, and I think he had an aunt that would take him out to the Lakeside races and stuff like that. And he just kind of always had racing in his blood. I'm not sure what year he bought his first car, but somewhere in the 70s. And then drove for a little bit, and then I was born, and he decided to give up the driving duties and owned a car for a while. Had a guy drive for him, and then probably about late 70s, early 80s, Inglewood closed, and then at that point, he had my brother, who's 2 years younger than me, and then my sister, who's like 6.5 years younger than me. So he just had to focus on family and how you put food on the table, and
right.
Priorities changed and things like that. So he took a pretty long hiatus from racing there. So I can stop there if you got any questions, and we can keep on rolling after that. But
right. Well, I mean,
that's sort of the start.
When you were young, what was your first memories of going to the races with your dad?
Yeah, so I don't have a ton of Inglewood memories because I was really young then. But I do remember having the car in the garage and being fascinated with that. I mean, yeah, the racing bug definitely got me early. So my first memories probably were like when I was like around 5 or so, and we would I remember more like going out to Colorado National Speedway for when it was dirt. And watching like the Outlaws, Sammy Swindell, Steve Kinzer, those guys, and watching those guys race like on the 4th of July, or the big shows, or the midget guys, Jim Beckley and Randy Roberts. I mean, we just had incredible midget drivers here, local guys. So that's probably my first memories of racing, and where the bug really bit me.
Well, it's got to be fascinating to be able to grow up as a kid, and you got to be like one of the coolest kids on the block if your dad's got a race car in his garage.
Yeah, I mean, that was I sure thought so, right?
Well, of course,
there was nothing cooler than race car drivers, right? They were the coolest, so,
right?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome, having those. And then I had a good friend that his dad raced, and some guys that we snowmobiled with, their dads raced. So we just kind of had that community. Racing was just everything to me. I was shocked when I met somebody that didn't know about racing, because I just thought that everybody in the world knew about racing.
Well, of course, man. It was your life, I mean, that's what you ate, drank, and slept, and I well said, because that's got to be cool, man. I mean, I can remember my uncle had it was just like a B altar or something like that, and I was in grade school, and I would call him up and I'd say, Uncle Bill, I need you to load the car up on the trailer and pick me up after school. And I'd get out of school, and there was my Uncle Bill with the race car on the trailer. And I mean, and I thought I was like the king of the world, because hey, your uncle had a race car, man, and people were like, "Oh, damn, that's cool as shit," So
yeah,
so
for sure.
Dan, what about? Who was your first big name that you remember that you met that you were just like, oh wow, I can't believe I'm meeting this guy?
Oh, Sammy Swindell for sure. I mean, Sammy Swindell. Yeah, I've been a Sammy fan for my whole life. So seeing him, and to this day, I just don't see a better rivalry than him and Steve Kinser back in the day. And I had one of my best friend growing up, he was a huge Steve Kinser fan, so we just make fun of each other all the time. So that rivalry and watching him race, that is definitely my first hero in racing, I'd say.
So when you started getting older and you decided, I think I would like to try this myself, how old were you?
So as a graduation present, so I was 18. My mom and dad got me a gift to go to Buck Baker Driving School.
Oh wow!
In Rockingham, North Carolina. So that's the first time I was really in a race car. Was back there with those guys, which was pretty amazing because Rockingham is a pretty fast high bank.
Oh, sorry.
Let's jam.
Yeah, really.
So that was the first time that I'd ever been in a race car, and then we came back from that and bought a late model here from Lance Newman, and he drove it the first year that my dad owned it, and then I took over driving duties in '94.
So how long was the class, and walk us through like day one when you got there and what it was felt like to be there and all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time, so I don't know that I'm be able to remember day to day.
Come on, Dan, you're not that old.
Probably. Yeah, exactly. I'd say it was like probably a 3 or 4 day class, something like that. So they kind of, they get you up to speed slow and then let you go, so you'll do a follow the leader for a little while, if I remember right. And then they get you up, and you're going at a pretty good clip, as long as they trust you to keep going fast, so it was incredible, right? Because it's like, I got done with that, and, Buck and Randy, both just had nothing but great things to say. Really spoke some, confidence into me, and said, if you want to come down here and work here, you can live with us. Like an incredible offer to go down there and actually, pursue racing in that way right away, which is just a crazy thing when I think back.
Right.
That would even be something that somebody would, say. But yeah, then we came back here and started our own deal. But incredible experience. Anything, growing up, anything you do with your dad is amazing, right?
Oh, of course.
I remember racing RC cars with my dad, and going like, we'd get home at 2:00 in the morning after running these remote control cars and stuff like that, Pinewood derbies and stuff like that. So it was awesome that we got to do what we did at the level and have some success, later on and stuff. But I don't, whatever you do with your dad is, you just got to treasure those days. It doesn't really matter what
it's
it
the
is.
truth, man. I agree with you 100%, man. I really do. I treasure those moments every day, and I every time I get into that blue truck, things
I
come
think
back.
about that a lot.
My dad,
Yep.
and it really is, man. It really is. So, your first race, where was that at?
CNS, Colorado National.
Okay.
Yep, in '94. Yep.
And then, how did you do? How was the outcome of that very first race? Were you nervous?
Well, I don't remember exactly the outcome of the first race. I can tell you that we had no success in the beginning. It was right. Like I look back to that, we didn't know what we were doing. Right.
Right.
I mean, it just went way over our heads. Trying to learn setups, trying to figure out the driving side of it. It was a mess, really. But we loved every minute of it. It was probably that time, probably in that mid to late '90s to early 2000s was really the height of NASCAR, and that was true at Colorado National too, because I think we had 40 some odd cars that would come out every week and try to make the main. So we struggled to even make the A main. I mean, it was really hard to make the A main. The competition was stiff, and there was plenty of nights that we just didn't finish high enough in the B to even qualify to get into the B main or to the A main.
Right.
So yeah, the struggle was real.
So how fast were the cars going back in that day?
I don't know. The track was real. It was pretty fast because it was compound banking. So we had like 369, I think, or 6912. I can't remember what the banking was, but there was 3 distinct grooves. So it was, when they paved that track, they really did an amazing job. And the only reason I say that is, like, we're talking about speed differences. I don't know. I mean, the cars are definitely faster, handle better now, but we also had a surface that was different then. So I don't feel like we were going, a lot slower than we are now, although the cars are a lot better. They probably were comparable times within, I don't know what average speeds are out there, but they're close to 90, right? So we're probably hitting like 110 or something. I always tell people it's only relative to how fast you got to turn around. You can go to a big track that seems a lot faster,
of course,
or go to a big track that seems a lot slower, but it's actually your mile per hours are a lot faster. You're traveling at a higher rate of speed.
Sure.
So it's a weird thing to talk speed on a short track, because a short track, just the sensation of speed is greater a lot of times on a short track, just because of that. But yeah, to answer your question, I think we're not that much different. We're probably, I would imagine times might be, a second faster or something. Somebody probably has that information, but the track record was set a long time ago, and I don't think it's been broken. So, and
who was that track? Who set that record?
That's a good question. There's a few different records in our division, and I truly don't know who has the track record out there.
Right.
Completely honest. Yeah.
Now, when you first started, were you there? Because I know when I was out there announcing, you'd be there sometimes and sometimes you weren't. Were you racing a lot more back then than you were when I was out there doing some infield announcing?
So I'm not sure what year you were there, but we raced pretty hard from like 94 to say 2012, 13. Something like that. Like, that was pretty, we went at it pretty hard for those years.
Right.
And there was years in there, like, when my daughters were born and stuff, I don't think we ran a full schedule. I crew chiefed my brother-in-law's car for a year on the tour in 06, and we didn't run a full schedule. But for the most part, those years were pretty dedicated years to racing.
Right. Now, is the Savage family as a whole, are they all into racing? I mean, when you guys were racing, was mom and sisters and brothers and kids and everybody out to the races every weekend?
Yeah, for the most part, they were. I mean, it definitely was a family affair. I mean, that's the only way that you can really make it possible.
Yeah, guaranteed. I have to agree there.
Yeah, otherwise you're asking a little too much of a sport and you get your priorities a little screwed up, which is easy enough to do anyways. But I had huge support from, my sister, my mom, my wife, just all of our family. I mean, the family and friends that supported us, and then the friends that we made that became like family out there. Just incredible experience. I mean, I feel like I've done some pretty cool things, and I'm not sure anything was quite like racing. I mean, it is a pretty neat one.
Right. Now, are you still dabbling in racing, or do you still go out? I mean, I've seen you make some, posts on Facebook and stuff that you were going to run this race or whatever. Are you still doing that?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that when the addiction gets you, it gets you, right? Like an alcoholic's always an alcoholic, a crackhead's always a crackhead.
Good analogy, bud.
Right. So,
but it's the truth.
That's my addiction, right? Like racing is it for me. It's hard to shake, but I still have a car. We had some troubles last race out. I think it ended up being a broken spark plug or something like that. But it's tough. It's tough to be kind of like half in and half out. You kind of got to decide. So the technology is always changing. The chassis are very finicky, and like if you're off, you just can't really make up much like you used to be able to.
Right.
It's tough. Time and money. I would say that's the main things with racing. And, both are a little bit hard to come by. I still have the bug, but I just don't have the time and resources to dedicate to it quite like I used to.
Sure.
Different priorities, different stages of life. I mean, all those things play a role, but there's still nothing like being behind the wheel of one.
I guarantee you, I never was behind one. I was around them growing up as a kid. Ronnie McDowell was a good friend of my grandfather's, and so we used to go out to Beacon Hill Speedway and watch Ronnie run all the time and stuff, and then plus when I got to work at CNS as the infield announcer, it was Ulf, right? That was the man there at the time, Ulf. Big, tall, Swedish guy.
Yeah, Alf Rusted.
Yeah,
or was that right? Or
I'm going to butcher the last name, so I'm just going to leave it up to you. And then if I ever hear anything from him, then you'll be in trouble. But anyway, he was telling me, he goes, this is going to be this sport. These people, they have a passion for their driver, so they're not necessarily going to like you if you are more favorite to one guy. Well, here's my buddy out there running around, and I can remember the first night that I was out there, or the first time I was out there and you were racing. I walked up right next to you, and I just so much wanted to just talk to you and you only, but they told me I couldn't do that. So, and then up in the tower when you're running, you're like, go get it down, and they're like, hey, you got to calm down, man. You got these people are watching you, man. I'm like, well, that's my boy out there, man. That's my boy,
No, I appreciate that. Yeah. No, that is awesome. We had some great fans, and like I say, that kind of became. It's just there's something about short track racing that's just so cool. That getting to meet everybody afterwards, and the same people every week, and
right.
Yeah, it really does become like a family out there.
Now, Dan, if somebody come to you right now and said, we got an unlimited checkbook, and we want your family involved. We want everybody to be able to come, but we want to go racing. Would you do it?
Well, are you offering? Is that what you're saying, or what's going on?
I mean, if you are waiting for me to have a checkbook to go racing on, we're going to be racing wheelchairs, my brother, and that's about the only thing we're going to be racing, and that's going to be going to get to the pudding line, because that's about the only thing we're going to be able to eat. No, I'm not offering in any way, shape, or form, but I'm just asking if somebody come up and said, hey, we got a checkbook, and we want you to drive. Would you do it?
Yeah, I'm in. I'm in. Right? Like let's go. I mean, I'm still passionate about it.
Sure.
I love every aspect of it. Right? I love like finding the puzzle pieces and trying to make your car faster and spending the time in the shop. That's like therapy for me. Right? Like I don't mind turning wrenches. I really like all of that. So if that could be my sole focus, I mean that would be that's a game changer. So
right.
I'm down for that. Twist of fate if anybody comes my way with that.
Right.
Anytime soon. If they're looking for an old guy to drive, I'm down.
Still have fire suit will travel,
Exactly. I'll bring my own lunch.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, what's that show with about the NASCARs that's just out with old Tom Cruise? What's that called? That's the show that he made. Something Thunder or something like that.
For the movie? Or?
Yeah, the movie.
The Days of Thunder back in the day? Or?
Yeah, Days of Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
Is it really... Are there drivers out there that really can't explain to the crew chief what the car's doing, but they can just drive the shit out of a car?
Yeah, I would definitely say that's true. I would say that somebody like Kyle Larson actually has that. Has that reputation for being a guy that's just an incredible natural talent, but not somebody that necessarily dissects a car. Where like, and I don't know these guys personally, right? Like, but
right.
This is the hearsay rumor that I'll put out there. But that's what I hear about Kyle Larson, where like a guy like Jimmy Johnson was a guy that could dissect every everything about a car. Mark Martin was like that, So, and I think those guys back in that era, probably there was more of those guys that had to diagnose stuff. Now it's like such a specialized thing with engineers and setups and crew chiefs and things like this and data. It's very data driven to where, like, let's say on the stock car side or the NASCAR side. I give this analogy where I think like when we were racing, we were maybe like, 50-50, 60-40 car, where the car was still important. But now I think, a good crew chief, a good team, a good car is probably, 80 to 90% of what it takes to succeed in those cars now.
Right.
So that's been a crazy shift. And I think that's, why NASCAR's having a little bit of trouble, because you do see guys, there are just gifted guys like Kyle Larson and stuff like that. But there's kind of been a dilution of the driver pool, I would say, in the NASCAR level, just because a lot of guys are just writing checks and getting in the best car they can, and that's it. So it's really just been very money driven.
And the drivers, excuse me, I had a coughing attack while I was, you were talking, and thank you, because I had to mute the mic there for a minute, but, they're back in the day, like Lee Petty and them guys, they used to smoke when they were driving. Nowadays, the drivers are all fit and trim and everything like that. So if you took a driver like, okay, say Richard Petty in his prime, and you took a guy like Kyle Larson right now in his prime, and you put them out on the track with the same kind of setup, maybe who would be a better driver? I mean, who do you think would win?
Well, I think you'd have to say Kyle Larson, right? Because I think all those guys, it's awesome that they were great for their era,
right?
But Kyle Larson benefits, and all these modern day guys benefit from seeing past champions and learning from what they learned.
Right.
So I feel like it's sort of cumulative on the learning curve to where things just get better. Drivers just get better, just like a chess champion would, or just like, I think even quarterbacks, whatever it is, the game develops, the sport develops, and you get to kind of, I guess, stand on the backs of the ones that came before you, because they pass on their knowledge and stuff like that. So things progress. So I'm more inclined to say, the greatest drivers are more current era guys, as they come along. Kyle Larson's definitely a phenom and stuff like that. I don't know if the depth of field is the same, as like say when Earnhardt was running or somebody like that, or Tony Stewart, I think the depth of field has got a little more shallow, but the tier one drivers are, as good as anybody. I think
right.
Very good.
So the changes that they've made with NASCAR is, okay, let's just say, for instance, and I'm not a big NASCAR fan, but my son Jeffrey he eats, drinks, and sleeps it. And I can remember when they did the wheel change, and they went from the quick change wheel, the 5 lugs that was on it, and then they went to just the one big lug, and they were having all kinds of problems like that. What was the reasoning behind that? Do you have any idea for that kind of a change?
Yeah. So, like, if I'm completely honest, I really haven't followed NASCAR for quite a while. There's just some things that for one, I just have other things going on.
Sure.
So there's kind of like, it's hard to tap into that. So I have like friends that are in there, and I'm like interested in what they have done. Their teams. I have friends on Furniture Row team, so that was really cool seeing their stuff. But like that transition into this current car, where they have the single, lug and things like that, I'm not super well versed in it.
Right.
I know some things about it, but like as far as the technical issues they may have been having with that particular thing, I have no idea.
You mentioned the Furniture Row team, and that boy of mine, he was a big Martin Truex fan. I mean, big Martin Truex fan, and I remember, Martin just kind of started slowly fading away and not doing as good, and then his wife or girlfriend or whatever she was, she passes away, and it really kind of affected him and stuff, and I really don't know to this day right now who I can really say that my boy is following out there, but I kind of get into it every once in a while, especially with those close races and stuff like that. But if you had a chance to run a big race, number one, where would it be? What race would you want to drive at in a big NASCAR?
Oh, oof. Yeah. Well, that's a good question. I mean, I think everybody, would say Bristol. That's a pretty big one to me. I don't know. I think Richmond is a really cool track. I think Darlington's a really cool track. Those would kind of be the tracks that I think are fun. Obviously, there's Daytona 500 is a huge event and race. I don't know that any driver is really like that's other than it just being like a crown jewel. That would be like, as a driver, that's what you want to go do. But maybe is see what super speedways are like. But yeah, I mean that's those kind of smaller tracks, kind of aggressive tracks and stuff like that. I think are probably more fun. I think Charlotte's pretty cool. But I don't know. Good question.
Huh. So back in your day, who was your rival?
Rival at CNS?
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. I can't really think of anybody that would be like a direct rival that I necessarily had something like that.
You didn't ever have somebody that was just you and him all the time, battling all the time for position,
No, not necessarily. I mean, there's I would say, I've raced Roger Akins for a long time. Bruce Yaki, would be guys that were really good.
Yeah.
Back then, Jerry Robertson, I got to race him for a while. So those guys were always good, and it was. And not that you don't have run-ins with guys from time to time or something like that, but I can't say that I necessarily had like somebody that I would just call a rival that we were just like, always sparring or something like that necessarily. I mean, field was pretty deep and there was a lot of good guys, but I enjoyed racing most every guy, everybody that I raced back then.
Well, good. Hey, we got Mark Chaffont's daughter, Carter, on here tonight. She's watching. She just started watching the show. Hello, Carter. Yeah. How are you? Good to see you. Tell your daddy we said hi, okay? And we'll get into that portion of your life here in a little bit. But, the other day I told my son, I said, of course, I told you here a while back that I was making songs and stuff. And I told him, I said, I want to make a song about a race family that, you know, back in the day to current, you know, up to now and stuff. And I said, who would that be? Who would be a good family to do that with? And he said, well, there's a couple of them. And I said, you know, how about Earnhardt? And he goes, well, yeah, that would be okay. He said, because he had his dad, and then his grandpa, and then his dad, and then Junior. And he said, but if I was going to write a song, he said, I would write it about Ned Jarrett. And I said, really? I said, okay. And not being a NASCAR fan, I really don't. I've watched it with my grandpa when I was young, and I've watched some races with him and stuff, but that's about the extent of my NASCAR career. I love the drag racing instead. So I'm going to take a break here just for a second, and I'm going to play the song that I wrote. It's called That Old Dusty Fire Suit, and we'll be back here in a minute, guys, with Dan Savage, and you're on Pedal to the Metal. We'll talk to you in just a minute.
Summer day, little Jason was digging through some old decay, boxes of memories, cobwebs and time. He found something hidden that sure caught his eye. It was laying there quiet, covered in dust, like it'd been waiting for someone to trust. That old dusty fire suit with patches and flame once roared down the track with Grandpa Ned's name. If that suit could talk, oh, the stories it'd tell about the men and machines that ran like hell. Junior Johnson at Talladega's banks, Lee Petty at the Lady in Black, Ralph Earnhardt to Rendover's Mile, Bobby Allison at the Rockingham Rock, racing with style and Fireball Roberts down Daytona Sand. That old dusty fire suits where legends ran. Mama smiled softly, brushed off the dirt, said your grandpa wore that through the smoke and the hurt. He lived for the roar, the flag and the fight, chasing the dream under bright track lights. She said your grandpa Ned was a champion driver, just like your dad Dale, both born survivors. They raced for glory, they raced for pride, they carried our name with fire inside. Two iconic men with hearts of steel, they drove with passion you could feel. They were legends, boy, don't forget the kind this world remembers yet. That old dusty fire suit with patches and flame once roared down the track with Grandpa Ned's name. That old dusty fire suit with patches and flame once roared down the track with Grandpa Ned's name. If that suit could talk, oh, the stories it tell about the men and machines that ran like hell. Junior Johnson at Talladega's banks, Lee Petty at the Lady in Black, Ralph Earnhardt and Rendover's Mile, Bobby Allison at the Rockingham Rock, racing with style and Fireball Roberts down Daytona Sand. That old dusty fire suits where legends ran. Now Jason stands tall at the edge of the track with his grandpa's number stitched on his back. He zips up that suit, takes one last look, and writes the next chapter in the family book. That old dusty fire suit, it ain't done yet. It's racing again the way Grandpa bet. If that suit could talk, he'd laugh and cry, Say, boy, keep it straight and aim for the sky. From Talladega's banks to Daytona sand, that old dusty fire suit runs again.
All right, guys, we're back. We got Dan Savage on the line, and we're talking to him about his racing career at CNS. So, Dan, 2011, the CNS SLM champion. Wow. Big kudos to you there, my brother.
Yeah, thanks. It's been a minute. But
Yeah.
that was a special year for sure.
Yeah. Now, so points, how were you doing in points that year? Were you far ahead of everybody, or was it a real close season, or can you remember?
Yeah, so it was really close. I don't remember how many points we won by, but I do remember there was two different points championships that we had to win. So I can't remember which was first and which was second, but there was one, we had to win it for the state, which was the NASCAR basically like state. So Colorado region,
right?
Championship. So we had to win that, and then I think we had to go like 3 or 4 more races and to clinch the track championship. So it was kind of like a championship within a championship, and it was neck and neck. It was definitely a hard fought battle for that championship.
And then the Challenge Cup winner in 2010, man. That was those were pretty good years for you right in there, man. You guys seemed like you guys were really, really shucking and jiving.
Yeah, definitely. Had great people on my crew. Had good cars. Luck went our way. Challenge Cup luck went our way for sure, right? Like the leaders took each other out, I think, with like just a handful of laps to go. So that handed me that one pretty good. But we lost ones that we were supposed to win too. So that's just kind of how racing goes. But
sure.
Those were good years. Those were really good years.
So have you always driven the super late models?
I've driven trucks also.
That's got to be a rush.
I've been in modifieds. They're all good. There's nothing quite like a super late model. I do think that as far as like asphalt stock cars go, the horsepower to weight is really good. So they're and the chassis technology is pretty awesome. So they're really cool cars to drive, as far as like that, I guess that kind of car.
Right. So, we had a chance, I was doing a monster truck show in Colorado Springs, and I knew one of the radio DJs. We did a bunch of radio stuff with him, and this is back when the track was running and they had the truck series out there, and so we got tickets to go to it. Those trucks, are they light in the back end, or how is it to drive a truck compared to a car?
Well, so the truck that I drove was really underpowered, right? That's what I remember about that car, that truck. So that was probably, and I think we were down on horsepower with it, but so that was the biggest difference, right? We were on the same tire, so it felt like the truck handled really good because it could take all the horsepower you could give it. So I remember getting in that truck and not really lifting much, so it was basically, let it breathe a little bit and drag the brake for a second to set the nose, and you pretty much just kept her pinned, just because it was just the motor was just didn't have any guts to it. So and I would have people come up to me and be like, "Man, you'd be faster if you lifted." I'm like, "Well, I'd be faster if I had better motor." I can't really lift. This thing's we got to keep this baby pinned.
Right.
So that's what I remember most about the trucks. The trucks are similar. Now I think they've changed the tire rules and stuff, and I'm not sure where they're at right now on those. But basically, the truck was just kind of a lot like a super late model with less horsepower, and that's kind of what ours felt like for sure. The guy that I was driving for, but we did end up winning in it, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, that's pretty much the difference. I didn't notice a huge chassis difference to be honest with you.
Right. That old saying, "Rubbin's racing." How true is that?
I mean, it's not as true as Days of Thunder true.
Right. Yeah.
But,
you mean you've never taken a rental car out and had rental car wars or anything like that?
Yeah, I've never gone in for 4 fresh tires to go wreck somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's true. I mean, we got donuts on our doors, and I mean, there's definitely. I mean, it's close quarters battle. That's for sure.
Yeah, especially going into some of them corners. Now, CNS, how big of a track is it?
So CNS is a big 3/8 is what I would call it. Yeah.
And high banks, of course.
I would say CNS has some banking, but it's not. I wouldn't call it necessarily a flat track, but I definitely wouldn't call it a high bank either.
Okay, all right. Because I remember, walking over to the pits after the races and stuff, and looking over there, and I'm like, dang, some of them banks look like they're pretty stout to me. But hey, that's somebody that's not a race car driver either. So, that's the way it is. But how racing? How was? When did they come aboard with you?
So the first car we bought was a Port City, and then I think the first How car we got was probably. Oh, that's a good question. Late '90s, somewhere in the late '90s, we went to How with John Whittar because he was the How dealer here, and then we just had a great relationship with those guys ever since. So yeah, those guys are just like really just personal friends of mine now. Don't talk a whole lot about racing, just laugh about other stuff.
Well, that's true.
I think now, but
that's true. So we met each other really more at the auctions in the wholesale business. I would say, don't you?
Yeah, for sure.
Wholesale business has changed a whole bunch nowadays. How did you get started in the wholesale business?
Yeah, so kind of tied to racing, right?
Right.
So
yeah.
Brian was my neighbor growing up, 2 doors down from me. So when I was, living with my parents, I was in high school. So when I got, so we helped him like supercharge boats and stuff like that. He was always into that kind of stuff. And then, obviously we just became good friends and started racing. And, he just kind of took to it too. He's like, man, I got to try this. Right. So I think he bought a car maybe in '98. And we kind of became teammates. I ended up going to work for Brian, I think I was wrenching on cars at the time, so I've wrenched on cars. I've washed cars and pinstripe cars and everything else. And then I just ended up, going on the road buying for him. For a long time. So I was a road dog going to auctions all over the country for a long time doing that. And yeah, that's kind of how I got into it. I mean, I was never good enough in school. My attention span is like, squirrel.
Yeah. So me too.
So yeah, the car business kind of worked for me. So that was kind of a blessing to land there. And and then it just obviously we met there and stuff like that. But
it was in the good days. It was in the good days when the wholesale business was strong. And I can remember Brian having. I mean, at one time I had Brian, I had Corey Larson, and I had Tim Groove all running my lane. And we're talking each guy have 100 cars, maybe. Mm-hmm. And it was long days, man. And the money was going crazy and making money and stuff. It was just, everybody was having a good time back then, it seemed like. Nowadays, it doesn't seem like everybody's enjoying it as much as they used to.
Yeah, I don't know. It's technology driven, right?
Right.
Fees are really high. So it's like, what we used to do, doing auction kind of things, that's not really possible anymore because of just there's no meat on the bone anymore,
right.
So, I don't know. I mean, definitely, I think every industry changes and stuff like that. But I definitely miss that. You know, I've been out to dealers. You know, I'll go out there maybe once a month or something, and you know, there's such cool people, right? Like I feel like I get so many friends from just being at the auction. So not being at the auction regularly, you know, that is a bummer. Just not seeing people as much. It's just we've just become, you know, everything's online. You know, everything's technology driven, and I don't know where that'll end up going, but.
No, it's tough as an auctioneer too, man. It really is. You know, I mean, I've been lucky enough to work over 20 some years at the Denver sale, and I've worked dealers and stuff like that. You know, and dealer still kind of is that mom and pop auction, just like Loveland is and stuff like that. You know, and you know,
Yeah.
you go to the big Mannheim sales, and you're more of a number than the treatment you used to get, you know, as when you guys were the big wholesalers there.
Yeah. Well, everything's data driven anymore.
Yeah.
You know? So everything's like spreadsheets, and you definitely start becoming, you know, you definitely start feeling like that's true. Now, it's funny because like on the wholesale side, even though I'm smaller, you know, I still think it's like it's still a relationship business, you know, and that is the part that's the best part of it, you know. So. Yeah, I still get to get out and see a ton of those guys and talk to you know, everybody on the phone and or you know, maybe not everybody, but you know, still get that connection. So
Sure.
Still got that. I don't know what the future holds, but
It's different. It's changed a bunch. So Dan, if you had a young person come up to you and say, call you Mr. Savage, that number one is a mind opener right there. Yeah, Mr. Savage, that was my dad,
Yeah.
you know. But
heavy on the Mister.
yeah, heavy on the Mister. But if you had some young person come up and say, I want to get into racing, what do you recommend? What would you tell them?
Well, I mean, anything's possible, right? Like, so you never want to tell somebody not to follow their dream, because I think that's, you know, that's important. But I'd say find somebody that's going to write some checks, you know, because
It's expensive.
unfortunately, that's sort of the way racing's gone. You know, I heard I was watching a podcast. And I think it was some dirt late model guys talking, and they drew an interesting, you know, I guess I don't know. What they basically said was, if I won $20 million tomorrow, you know, I can write a check and go drive at a pretty high level in racing, right? Like,
Right.
Like they basically said cup, right? Is what they said. Like, I'll, you know, you might not be driving for Hendrick, but you go write a check, you can get in the top levels of NASCAR
Right.
just by writing a check. Going to see, like, this is the analogy they use. You go in and go into the Carolina Panthers stadium and see if you can write a check to be the quarterback, right?
Right.
That's not going to happen. So,
No.
you know, those sports, you know, you still have to be, you know, prove yourself. Like the best of the best, they're probably going to be the ones that get to the NFL, right?
Right.
I don't know that our sport is necessarily putting the best of the best at the highest levels. So, you know, that's a discouraging thing to try to tell somebody, you know, but unfortunately I think that's a reality of where our sport's at. Hopefully that changes, you know, and I wouldn't want to discourage anybody from trying that. Maybe it's just something you need to be aware of, right? Because you still see the guys, you know, you put your mind to something. I mean, I'm a guy that wants to give people overcomer mindsets, right? We don't want to give this next generation any sort of victimhood mindset, even like that kind of stuff, right? So it's
Right.
like you're going to have to be creative. You know, you're going to have to find a way. You know, somebody's not going to find you because you're the best race car driver. You're going to have to look at this thing holistically. You're going to have to figure out how to raise funds. You're going to have to build a business, build a team around you. You know, find some people that believe in you that can you know, fund you and help support your dream. You know, I don't know what that necessarily looks like. You know, I guess this next generation is going to be, you know, how to use social media, how to use AI, how to use these tools and you've got to look at it as a bigger picture. I think when I was coming up, it was more like, how can I be the best driver? And I was naive then too, because it still took that stuff. There's probably more opportunity, because there wasn't, it wasn't quite like where the sport's at now. If you found a sponsor that believed in you, they could probably take you, to higher levels. But now it's more like, CEOs writing checks for their kids, I would say. But overall, I guess that would be my advice. You're going to have to get creative. You're going to have to think of this sort of from a CEO mindset, not just as a driver. It's a big business, and there's a lot of moving parts.
Guaranteed, man. It really is. Well, Dan, I'll tell you what, man. We're let's see, we're probably 5 minutes away from an hour online and stuff, and it goes fast and stuff. And I really appreciate you taking the time and number one, helping me out as a friend, and being on the show, because there's people out there that are listening. Like I got a friend down in Amarillo, Texas, named Glenn Larson, and he's a big circle track driver, or racer. He used to race a long time ago, and now he, excuse me, now he announces that Route 66 Speedway out there in Amarillo and stuff. And so I know he's listening and stuff. But I just really appreciate you taking the time and helping me out, because each show that I do, I try to bring somebody in from my past that I have associated with, that I think the world of, and you happen to be one of those guys, man.
Well, likewise, brother. I appreciate it. It's always good, catching up and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun, and hopefully we can get together soon and do a little more catching up.
Well, I think it's your time to buy lunch.
I'm in. Let me know when. Let's go.
All right, dude. I am, for sure. So you have a good night, bud, and Merry Christmas to you and all your family. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. Thank you very much. All right.
Yep.
All right, guys, we'll be back here in just a minute with a little bit more pedal to the metal, and we're going to pay some more bills right fast, and we'll be back here in just a second. Hey, lug nuts. Need pick me up to start your day? Then it's time to go to Rise and Grind. At Rise and Grind Coffee in Parker, Colorado, you'll find everything from bold espressos to creamy lattes to refreshing chai teas and smoothies. Whether you love it regular or decaf, we've got the perfect cup waiting for you. Hungry? Grab a hot breakfast burrito and a fresh muffin to go with your drink. And don't forget to check in on our merchandise. Perfect gift for any coffee lover. Planning on an event? Rise and Grind brings coffee to you with our family-equipped portable coffee trailer. Perfect for weddings, meetings, celebrations of any kind. Stop by 475 Singing Hills Road in Parker, or give us a call at 480-212-3787. That's 480-212-3787. Rise and Grind Coffee, fueling your day one cup at a time. Hey, lug nuts, take a look at our new partner, 6ix9ine Graphics and Design, a small design and marketing company big on personalized service. They work close with you to get your business noticed with graphics that stand out and get attention. 6ix9ine Design focuses on stickers, decals, and graphics for your hot rods, custom projects, or business marketing. 6ix9ine Design also includes logo design, brochures, signs, business cards, banners, custom apparel, vehicle graphics, and much more. Remember, that's 6 and the number 9 Graphics and Design, or go to 6ix9design.com or find them on Instagram at 6ix9design. Well, excuse me, guys. Steve Craftsman, thank you for purchasing your shirts. And in fact, you brought up to mind for me to remind people that you can go to fourthwall.com. And you can go, when you get to fourthwall.com, you can click in on Pedal to the Metal. You just type in Pedal to the Metal, and it'll take you to our storefront. And you can go in there, and we have T-shirts, we got hoodies, we got sweatshirts, we got coffee mugs, we got hot and cold coffee thermoses. We even have tennis shoes. Yeah, we even have Pedal to the Metal tennis shoes. Now, I'm not in charge of any of the pricing or anything like that. Only thing I did was go on there and I give them my logo. They have all the inventory. They build the shirt. They build whatever you buy. They ship it to you. So you're dealing with them on that end of it. But I appreciate everybody that's bought. And Christmas is coming up, so if you're looking for something to buy for somebody, you know, buy them a t-shirt, buy them a sweatshirt or hoodie or something like that, and I would appreciate it. I'd be more than cool to be able to go to a car show this summer and see somebody wearing one of my t-shirts or something like that. So now, speaking of shirts, Christmas Eve day, I said Christmas Eve night, but it's going to be Christmas Eve day. We're doing a giveaway for the person that can drive the most people to this show. And when I first started the show, I said, hey, I just had a baby, okay, and it's called Pedal to the Metal. And I need you guys' help. I am a single parent, and I need your help raising this child. And how you help me raise my child is you tell your friends, hey, have you heard Roller's new Pedal to the Metal show? And then if they say no, then you give them the site name, show them on your phone or whatever. This is what you look for. And he's on Wednesdays and he's on Sundays. And, like him, and he'll like you back, and follow him, and he'll follow you back. And then what that does is that puts a mark in the shirt giveaway for them, but it also puts a mark in the shirt giveaway for you. So the more people you can get over to the site, the more marks you have. We have a way to track that. We figured out a way to track it, and it's a close race right now. It really is, to some people that really are trying to get some people in here. And what we're doing is, I thought, well, what am I going to give away? And I thought, well, I've got a bunch of old crew shirts and stuff, and I said, I have a shirt that I used in Monster Truck Radio that was never used. And I said, why don't I just give away something like that? So anyway, I got this shirt right here. And this is from Monster Truck Radio. It's never been worn, just been to the cleaners. It has Roller on one side, has Monster Truck Radio here. On this sleeve, it has Bell Helmets. On this sleeve, it has the Monster Truck Racing Association logo. If you flip it around to the back, on the back of it, it says Monster Truck Radio in big letters across the back with the logo and all that. And it's a black shirt with green pinstripes, and then it has some real wild pinstriping on the bottom of it. It's an extra large. I know not everybody in the world is an extra large, so if you can't wear the shirt, then, or if you don't want to wear the shirt and you win it and you want to hang it in your garage, it would be good garage art, but this is what I got to give away for right now. The giveaways, when I started this giveaway, I didn't have the shirts or any of that other stuff out. That'll all come here this summer. I'll start having some merchandise here from Fourth Wall, and I'll start giving some of that stuff away and different things like that. But anyway, right now, if you're the winner, I'll let you know on Christmas Eve day, and let you know that you're the winner of the shirt. And if it doesn't fit you and you want me to sign it, you want to hang it in your shop, whatever you want to do with it. If you want to throw it in the trash can after I send it to you, that's up to you, okay? But it is a cool shirt, I think, and like I said, it's got a lot of memories from Monster Truck Radio for me. So anyway, that's how you get that. So you got fourthwall.com, Pedal to the Metal. Go into our storefront, click on that button, and it'll take you right to all of our stuff that we have on there, and you can buy that stuff. And they usually ship it out pretty fast. They usually get it to you pretty quick, and it works out pretty good. So anyway, I see my buddy Steve Craftsman on here, and he says, great shirt and a great logo. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You were one of the very first that bought from me, and I just really appreciate it, man. I really do. So, and it was fantastic. The time we did get to spend together today, to hang out. I wish I could have went to Monument and stuff, but I had CDs to deliver and different things like that. And we will definitely hook up again soon, my friend. But I know I probably won't see you before Christmas, and I know you'll probably be flying here soon again. But if that's the case, please be safe, and you guys have a Merry Christmas. Give them girls a big hug for me. Tell them I love them very much, and it was great to see all you guys today for sure, man. So, as always, guys, we play a couple more songs as we leave from the night. So let's see here. Let's do Classic Christmas, okay? Let's just do that one right fast, and then I'll be right back. This is Pedal to the Metal. I'm Roller, and I'll see you here in just a second.
It's a classic Christmas. You can see it on the rooftop. It's a classic Christmas. The decorations on the treetops. When you feel the chill and it gets cold enough, you know the time has come for it's a classic Christmas. It's a classic Christmas. You can see it on the rooftop. It's a classic Christmas. The decorations on the treetops. When you feel the chill and it gets cold enough, you know the time has come for it's a classic Christmas. The snow, the lights, the cheer, the reindeer. It only comes once a year, but it's here. It's here. It's a classic Christmas. You can see it on the rooftop. It's a classic Christmas. The decorations on the treetops. When you feel the chill and it gets cold enough, you know the time has come for it's a classic Christmas. It's a classic Christmas. Classic Christmas. You can see it on the rooftop. It's a classic Christmas. The decorations on the treetops. When you feel the chill and it gets cold enough, you know the time has come for it's a classic Christmas.
You know, I belong to a group called the Parker Cruisers, and I have become good friends with a lot of people that are in the car culture for classic cars, where we go to the shows every weekend and we hang out, and it's a family. It really is. And you know, I got good friends on the poor boy side from Castle Rock. I just hooked up with a group called the Night Owls. Good people, man. And there's just, everywhere you go, it seems like everybody is just, there's a couple that want to steal the name of your lug nuts and stuff, but we won't mention him. But anyway, they had their Christmas light cruise here in Parker last weekend, and I was going. I had bought my display for the back of my truck and everything, and then the weather come in, and I was driving down my dirt road, and it was muddy, and the roads were still snow on there, and I looked over towards Parker, and I was like, oh man, it's probably really snowing or raining really hard. Let's see here. Look for Thomas Hill and his Yo Crew. That's a great source for all the car stuff down south here. Yeah, I'm going to, guaranteed, I'm going to try to hook up with everybody like that. But you know, so I just took the truck and turned around, and I had a tough time getting back up my dirt road because my truck's got some pretty wide meets in the back, and needless to say, I practiced my drifting all the way home, and so I put it in the garage, and I thought for sure that everything would be canceled because of the weather and stuff. And then that night, my phone started going off, and I look, and here's everybody driving in the Christmas light cruise, and no, it was on, so I missed it. So I just was really bummed about that, and I even had a song made for all my peeps in the different car clubs for the Parker Christmas Light Cruise, and I'm just going to go ahead and play it for you now. So this might be some of the first time that some of you have heard it. So this is called the Parker Christmas Light Cruise.
Snow's drifting light on Main Street tonight.
Every storefront's glowing soft and bright. Families gather where the sidewalks bend, waiting on the show that the hot rod sent. Engines rumble low like a holiday drum, and the whole town smiles 'cause the light crew's begun. It's the Parker Christmas Light Cruise, where all the hot rods come to play, decorated up in their Christmas attire, shining so bright Santa's getting inspired. Kids hold their mittens to the winter sky, hoping for candy canes tossed as we roll by. People drive for miles just to join the holiday in the town of Parker's Christmas Light Cruise. Parker cruisers lead with that old school pride. Night owls follow with chrome so wide. Castle Rock poor boys rumble in next, glowing like a scene from a Christmas text. Tinsel on the grills, wreaths on the chrome, every hot rod gleaming like it owns a night alone. It's the Parker Christmas Light Cruise, where all the hot rods come to play, decorated up in their Christmas attire, dancing in the frost like a holiday fire. Little ones cheer as the engines glide, candy canes fly to the sidewalk side. People drive for miles just to join the holiday in the town of Parker's Christmas Light Cruise. Even Santa leans out from his big red sleigh, saying those hot rods stole the show today. Their lights shine brighter than Rudolph's nose, glowing down Main Street where the cold wind blows. It's the Parker Christmas Light Cruise, where the heart of the town is proudly displayed. Hot rods glowing, spirits raised, engines singing Christmas Light Cruise. Kids wave high as the headlights fade, but the memories last long after they made their way, 'cause people come from miles just to cruise and celebrate the town of Parker's Christmas Light Cruise.
Well, there you have it. Parker Christmas Light Cruise. Guys, I've had a good time tonight. We're going to go ahead and call it quits. And the last one I'm going to play is going to be a song. I wrote this song especially for a friend of mine, Texas Rich. He had a friend, his name was Ty, and his son had Down syndrome. And Ty used to put on this car show every year for his son and for the Down Syndrome foundations and stuff like that. And it's called Connor's Car Show. And, Ty was Connor's world and Connor was Ty's world. And these two were inseparable. And Ty passed away here this week from cancer. And, my buddy Rich was down and stuff. And I thought, I need to kind of pick his spirits up or just let him know that I'm out there for him and that there's other people going through the same stuff. But, this song's got a little bit to do with that, but it's got a lot to do with how the world is right now. I mean, as far as, we have a young lady that comes over from another country and she's riding home after working a hard day, the American way, where you go out and you have a job and you work instead of having the government fund you. And then we have a guy that's riding on the subway with her that's government funded, and he kills her. He stabs her to death and everybody gets to see it. They get to watch this young girl's life just fade away in just a second on this subway train. Her life was done for, and the last thing she's seen was the inside of a subway train. Come on. I mean, and it's because of some scumbag that I'm sorry, every time I talk about this, I could do 2 hours on the show. So I'll just leave it there. You understand my feelings on it. And I'm sure you all feel the same way. And if you don't, then shame on you, man. Shame on you. But it's always, this song is about why do the good ones go first? And it's just about why do all the people, the good people, die and the scumbags get to stick around and live and not get in trouble for the stuff that they've done. So anyway, this is just a song to think about. Merry Christmas to you all, and have a Happy New Year. Be safe if you're traveling. I love each and every one of you guys, and I look forward to the summer when we can all be together again and hang out and just enjoy our lives, man. So hug the ones that you're with. Tell somebody that you don't even know that you love them, man. It'll change their life, I promise you. Have a good night. This is Roller.
There's a darkness in this world I can't explain. People hurting people like it's some kind of game, while the kind ones are out there mending broken lives, helping neighbors and mowing yards, showing kids a better life. And every time I hear another angel's gone, Lord, it just feels wrong. So why do the good ones go first, Lord? Why do the strong hearts fade away? Why do the ones who lift us up get called home early every day? I don't know how you choose your angels, but it sure feels like a curse. Oh Lord, why do the good ones go first? Some folks spend their whole life causing nothing but pain, while the good souls are out there giving hope like rain. They're the ones who hold the car shows for the little kids, raise a little money, bring a little joy. God knows they always did. And then one day they're gone without a reason why, and all we can do is cry. So why do the good ones go first, Lord? Why do the strong hearts fade away? Why do the ones who lift us up get called home early every day? I don't know how you choose your angels, but it sure feels like a curse. Oh Lord, why do the good ones go first? Maybe you need them up there more than we do down here, to shine a little brighter, to chase away the fear. Lord, if you're listening, keep a few here too. This broken world still needs the work they do. So why do the good ones go first, Lord? Why do the gentle souls disappear? Why do we keep on losing heroes we all needed right here? I know you got a plan in heaven, but down here it still hurts.